Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Welcome, family. Welcome, family. Welcome. It's your brother King Simon. Oh, yeah, we got a special one today. Woo! My spirit is on one today. My spirit is on. Big up to everybody on IG. Everybody on IG. I am on YouTube also at King Simon Presents Also Only Quality People. I'm on Facebook also. So if you want to see the gist of this, y'all can come on over there. Matter of fact, let me make sure my Facebook is also working heavily. I had it on my Facebook here. Let me check my other Facebook pages. But I had it on my other Facebook page, but I have it on my public page. Let's go there and see where you're at. Okay. Copy the link and put it on my other Facebook page. Okay. All right, good. I'm broadcasting on Facebook also. I'm broadcasting on Facebook. Again, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be on this planet Earth. Your brother King Simon is in the building, of course. So, of course, today's topic is going to be a very interesting one. But before I do that, let me run this down real quick. I'll be right back after this. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What's up? Let me run this down real quick. It's the Numerovational Session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Yeah, get my books on Amazon now. I will be coming out of my book, as a matter of fact, one of my books, at least this particular one right here, with the numbers connected to particular words, names, all of that kind of stuff. Tomorrow will be the call-in show. Just want to remind everybody that tomorrow, Tuesday, probably around 10 a.m., probably around 11, probably 12. But I usually, when the call-in shows and circulation driven, that means you can donate $5.55 and up, and you can come on and talk to me. The phone lines will be working tomorrow, 718-210-8853. That is be the phone lines tomorrow. So when you see the phone lines pop up, you know what it is. This Wednesday, we have the one, the only on Healing Vibes. From skeptic to believer, a personal journey in discovering the transformational power of astrology. We got our brother coming in. Samuel F. Reynolds will be in with us. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Can you hear me clearly? Press the number 1 if you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever I'm broadcasting. Also, I'm broadcasting on the Numerovational Nation, the Numerovation Nation. I'm also broadcasting. Remember, Wayne Chandler, Kaba Kamene as a guest, Adinka Buster as a guest, will be in the building with Monique, Unc Rise's son, and Sister Kafunya. Give them a call to find out more information. There's going to be a whole lecture, Qigong workshop, and special guests will be there from 5 to 9 p.m. 718-858-4400, 718-858-4400. Also, I will have Phil Valentine in the building on December the 17th. December the 17th, we have Dr. Phil Valentine on a private link. That means we will be going through my Patreon page, because I want Dr. Valentine to free up and speak up in his own articulate manner. And also, it will probably be. I will probably put it on my community page, so people can on YouTube, so y'all can see it. The origin of the deep state and staying aware. So we have Dr. Phil Valentine. That's my Patreon page. That's patreon.com / King Simon. Only $5.55 to $10 monthly, because I just put up an exclusive presentation by Professor Griff, Demonic Influence. Oh, yeah, we put that up today. Demonic Influence in the Music Business. Got to put that up. I had to put that. It's an old one that we did with Professor Griff, but I had to put that up today on Patreon. All right. Bonus exclusive content, because they're rubbing off everything off of YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Also, I put up Dr. Baruti. Dr. Baruti is up there with Natural Black Love is Revolutionary. The madness must stop. You know, Dr. Baruti lives out here in Atlanta, also has a whole school out here. And that particular part 1 and part 2 was powerful. Dr. Baruti wrote the book, Effeminization of the African Male. So, you know, that go to my Patreon, you'll see that exclusive presentation he did at old Nicholas back in the day, downtown Brooklyn, because we know that the alphabet people might be working alongside the algorithms also. So we want to make sure that we do things strategically, and everything is going to be on Patreon for a very reasonable circulation and donation of $5.55 to $10. So whatever you choose to do between $5.55 to $10, go to my Patreon. I'm putting up some stuff, and I got a lot of stuff. I got a box of stuff if I wanted to put up on Patreon, all on cassettes of video, audio, DVDs. I got a lot of stuff, that I've done in the past 20 plus years of promotion and production. I have a lot of stuff. So, I'm gonna put some stuff, some I'm not gonna put up there. It is what it is. So, I'm just trying to go with the mathematical flow, as your brother know. People, thank y'all very much so far for coming on and showing love. Thank y'all. Greetings to everyone. Greetings to everyone coming on. Shout out to everybody on, because to me, everyone is a celebrity. And very important topic that we're going to discuss. Go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. A numerovational perspective. I'm going to focus on the words appreciated, which comes from the root word of appreciated, of course, is appreciate, and tolerated. I'm going to focus on those two words, if you don't mind. And let me make sure the Cash App is up there. The PayPal is up there. Everybody's tuned in. Y'all locked in. That's good. That's good. That's good. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your cousins that King Simon is in the building, in the mathematical universe. King Simon presents the numerovational perspective. I got to find my pointer now. I got to find my pointer, my Ethiopian pointer at that. Oh, man, what a topic this is, because this is pertaining to people in your family. This is pertaining to so-called friends, associates, all of that. Go where you are. Go where you're appreciated, and not where you're tolerated. Go where you're appreciated, but not where you're tolerated. A numerovational meaning, because remember, all the numbers have their duality. They have their positive and they have their negative. So when I break down words, I connect the positive of the word and the negative. And sometimes the word can be straight up negative depending on someone's perception. So it's very important that y'all learn to go where you are appreciated. And sometimes I've noticed through my life that I've been appreciated more by more of my friends, or people that are deemed as my friend, to the point that they allow me to stay at their place for a certain amount of time or duration, or any time I want to. And I'm the type of person, when I stay at someone's place, if they're giving me a room, I will contribute to food. I contribute to the cleaning of the house. Even if they don't want me to pay monthly or whatever, I contribute to making sure that that place is neat and clean. And wherever I am, I'm folding up my own clothing. I'm cleaning up my own room. I'll even help wash the dishes for them, all of that. Because sometimes people are busy, and I understand that. So it's important to recognize the two words, appreciated and tolerated. And if you're going where you appreciate it, that means you must learn to appreciate the place that there are people that are allowing you to stay at their venue, stay at their home, stay at their apartment, stay at their condo, stay at their. I'm one of those people that I love to clean. Those who know me knows I love to wash. I love to wash clothes. I'm washing clothes right now because I'm heading down to Florida in a couple of days. Excuse me. And more than likely I'll be staying between friends, but definitely one of my family members that I grew up with in the dojo. Watched him grown and him and his wife, and I don't like to be any inconvenient to anybody. I quickly will rent out a Airbnb or whatever, but the young couple say I can come over there because I contribute. And I also help out. And, if their daughter, I call my little niece, wants to go to the park and we could go to the park together. Hey, I like children. I have children. I love children. So, and I think it's important that we learn to go where we're appreciated, go where you're appreciated. That is the topic. And not where you're tolerated. There is a difference, even in the mathematical vibration of the two words. And although that the numbers connected to every word and letter that you see up here, or what I've placed on the board from the Pythagorean and the Chaldean system, there's a duality in everything. Is a duality in everything. And that's what I really respect about the numbers. The numbers are not subjective, they're objective because of the duality of them. Let me say that again. The numbers are objective and not subjective because of the duality. Big up to everybody that's on Instagram. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. If you want to see the fullness of it in its purity, you come to YouTube. YouTube is King Simon Presents Only Quality People, or just King Simon Presents, or you can go to the Numerovation Nation on YouTube also. If you're finding it hard to find, go to my Linktree /King Simon, the Numerovator. That's Numerovator. One thing I do want to talk about also, that we have this beautiful sister coming up, Raket Kajara Nebhet is coming on to explain about Kemetic Reiki. And then I will be on this show on the 14th. And the show is called Higher Journeys with Alexis Brooks. Happens to be a good friend of Billy Carson. And we're going to be speaking about numbers don't lie. That's going to be fun because I like having fun conversation. Although people call it deep, I really, if people know me, I try to keep it simple. The language is simple. The language is not a bunch of highfalutin European languages and jargon. And it's not really European because we taught Europe how to speak anyway. We taught them how to leave the mumbo jumbo and get into articulation through the different tones and languages. So we are the originators of language. Big up to Phil Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine. Of course, he'll be on my show doing on a private link, but you can go to his website, uksnow.org. That's uksnow.org, or hit him up at 800-847-1291. Remember, he got a new webinar coming out on January the 14th called Constructs of the New Old Order. And if you want to learn this yourself, and start at least on the journey of applied numerovation, you can take this 3-hour course, 3-hour webinar. It's already pre-taped. PayPal.me/King Simon and Cash App $King Simon 3158. Once you circulate the $55 in through PayPal or Cash App, guess what? Make sure you put your email in the bar, in the comment section or the description section of either PayPal or Cash App, and I will send you the link immediately so you can learn how to do this for yourself. Big up to CarrieAnnIngram.com, CarrieAnnIngram.com, or Linktree/CarrieAnnIngram. Ingram. Of course, big up to my Baba Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, or 800-581-4400. You want to advertise, you got a business, you got a very wholesome, respectable business, holistic and otherwise, you got a book you want to sell or promote, you can advertise on my show or our show. Remember, advertisement doesn't cost, it pays. The email is right there on the bottom. And remember, you can get all of my books through Amazon and Kindle. That's all of my books through Amazon and Kindle. And I think one of them is not on Kindle. Numerovation is not on Kindle. I think the rest are. Because the rest are published by Dr. Lila Africa and his wife, the late, great Dr. Lila Africa. And Linktree/King Simon, the Numerovator. And I have 17 slots left in the month of December. So if you want to book a session with me before this month is out for a holiday gift, but I tell people all the time, if you're going to give a gift of numerovation, please let them watch me and know what I'm doing. Let them know that it's not psychic. I'm not doing any fortune telling. I'm not doing anything. I'm just paying attention to patterns, cycles, and sequences and helping to guide people with their numbers, motivate them more with their numbers. So if you're going to bless somebody with a Kwanzaa gift, so to speak, or a Christmas gift, or you just want to gift somebody, they got to give you. You don't surprise them. Send them a link. Let them know if they're going through stuff in their life and they want to get some mathematical understanding of it through numerology or numerovation, what I call numerovation. Boom, you can send them to me. Or for yourself, you want to tune up and tone up for what's coming in the next couple of years, or the patterns, cycles, and sequences or themes that's going to be attracted to you in the next couple of years. More than welcome to also book a session with me again. 347-496-1022. If you live outside of the United States of America, please use WhatsApp or use Signal. WhatsApp or Signal. Some people are using Signal now only because WhatsApp got certain policies and all that. Come see, come saw. If you're not doing anything negative out there, don't worry about what WhatsApp's doing, because everybody is monitoring you anyway. Anything you put your darn signature to, whatever you put your face on, you're being watched, you're being monitored. So whatever WhatsApp is doing, that's what's up. Let them do what they do. As long as you're staying focused and constructive in what you do. Remember, let me say this. All of our elders have said this over the years. Melanated people have been the most studied people on the planet Earth. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Melanated people, original people of this planet, has been the most studied on this planet. Remember, they used to study our people on their medical table without anesthesia. Our women, our men, cutting off your nuts without even giving you anesthesia. They cut off George Washington Carver's nuts, castrated him. But yet he turned out to be one of their greatest plantologists in the world, being able to listen and feel and look at the plant and see. But they cut off it because they didn't want him to have sex with the women in the hells and, the whole mandingo and buck breaking, the whole madness. So don't worry about what the external technological entities are doing. Worry about your inner works and your inner power and your inner understanding. And big up to Dr. B Serious and 19 Keys. They did a wonderful job. If you watched that yesterday, wonderful job. Big up to Dr. B. I spoke to him the day before it aired. And Dr. B and I will be in Florida also with the Carson family. The newlyweds will be in Florida for their New Year's event that they're having. It's a theme party the Gatsby theme party. So I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to be dressed in my suit and my tie, and I'm going to look the part and it's elegant. So I like the elegant look. So it is what it is. All right. Okay. Let's get into the topic, shall we? I'm glad everybody is tuning in. Somebody said very true. Yeah. They really didn't want the man multiplying anyway. Yeah. You know that. They always didn't want us to multiply. We know that. Yeah. You know, all these are old topics. You know, all of us are young people, and all of us are very young. If you're under the age of 100, you're still young. If you're under the age, I'm 56 years young. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I'm thinking on an 11-year-old. I'm 11 vibratory energy right now. And next year, I'll be 12 because I'll be 57 and 5 plus 7 is going to be 12. That's how I think. So I keep on reversing and adding it on and showing people that, yo, I'm not afraid of age, because you don't have to get old mentally. Your body may have to do what it does because that's nature, but it's all good, family. It's all good. Instagram, I need you to come on over to YouTube. I'm going to stop y'all, and I'm coming over. I'm going to make it happen on YouTube only right now. So I'm going to leave this up, of course, but I need y'all to come over to YouTube because I don't feel like looking at this, looking at to see what's going on over there. So all of you on Instagram right now, come on over to King Simon Presents, Only Quality People. Or you can go to Facebook at King Simon if you're my friend, or my public page, King Simon Productions, or go to the Numerovational Nation on YouTube. So Instagram, have a great evening, afternoon, or wherever you may be located. Come to me on YouTube, and I'm going to do it just like this. I'll see y'all later. Peace. All right. So Instagram is done, and your video must be at least 1 minute long. They said I cannot add this up. So it is what it is. That is crazy, but it is what it is. It is what it is. They said I can't add it. So, all right, family, let me share screen real quick. I'm going to share screen right now. So I hope everybody from Instagram, because they won't allow me to paste it. They're doing something on my Instagram, and I guess they're not allowing me to do certain things. All right, so family, I'm going to share screen right now, because we have to understand the words. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Big up to Chris Tucker. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So, family, very important that you pay close attention to what's about to be said, because I don't have a lot of time, and none of us really have, quote unquote, time to be dilly-dallying and playing games with each other. So the word that you see up here is appreciated.
Appreciate.
All right. So I want to, I'm looking, and that is the root of the word appreciated. It says recognize the full worth of. Be grateful for something. Goes on to say, understand a situation fully. Recognize the full implications of. Rise in value or price. Appreciate or appreciated. So, in the study of numerology, every word that you see is connected to a letter. Every word that you see is connected to a letter. And I will be using, of course, 2 different systems. As you know, I've done this. This is a part of the course. So, but let me forward what I want to show y'all first. All right, so I will be using 2 different systems, of course. The Chaldean, which is the oldest of the 2, and the Pythagorean, which is the youngest, what they call modern numerology, based on Pythagoras' studies and his perspective. All right. The Chaldean being a nation of people, the Black Chaldean, if you don't know who they are, if you've never studied them, of course, I do suggest that people get this book, The Black Chaldeans. Oh, yeah, I start showing books, baby, by John Brinson. And he has a great bibliography and recommended reading in the back of the book. He got Runoko Rashidi speaking up here. He has Ralston George. He has John Henry Clark. He has various people. J.A. Rogers is also a part of his bibliography. And Dr. Ben is also a part of the bibliography, the Black Chaldeans. So anytime you see me show this chart, the Chaldean, know that it comes from melanated people. Can I get a number 1 in the chat? Can I get a number 1 in the chat? Know that it comes from melanated people, the original. Know that it comes from melanated people. So don't get it twisted. This is a melanated system before it reached Pythagoras. Some are even saying that the name Pythagoras is really Ptah Heru. That his name was changed, Ptah Heru. These are debates that's happening that I'm studying. I'm not clarifying that Pythagoras is Ptah Heru, but you know when they go into Kemet and get initiated or go to these different parts of the world to get initiated, their name is changed. So it's no longer Pythagoras, it's Ptah Heru if they're going into Kemet to get initiated. I'm just showing you that these are some of the arguments that's happening out there. Beautiful. Ptah Heru or Ptah Horus. Yeah, somebody say Ptah Horus. I'm just showing you that it can be those changes, and to support their European jargon and their European, like they usually do, they change things up to support and connect it to them. Ptah Heru or Ptah Horus could be Pythagoras. Hey, a lot of the Greeks or the Romans went into Kemet and wanted to become one of the gods, and they changed their name also. They do these things, all right, because they want to be a part of something. Remember, according to our own scholars, Europeans really has never created nothing. They go to other places and take it on, and then it becomes theirs. They always say it in their book that this information that they get at Aleister Crowley, Blavatsky, all of them say that they get it from people of antiquity, original people of antiquity. Even the guy who wrote the book Dianetics, even in his book, he says that his knowledge comes from the ancient people. Who are more ancient than us? Come on, let's stop playing. Who are more ancient than us? Who are more ancient than us? So all these books, everybody, all these European scholars are saying, oh, the pudding is going way back. The Jello pudding is dark skinned. The Jello pudding is originally melanated people from all over the world. The Jello pudding. Look at here. And let me share L. Ron Hubbard. That's the guy. That's the demon. L. Ron Hubbard. All of them are saying that their information is coming from somewhere and then passed down from generation to generation, and they claim it. I have one book here by a European, one numerology book by a European that talks about them coming from a place called Dartmoor. Ellen Sintire was born in Dartmoor and grew up in Exmoor. What? Look what it's saying in her. This is the author of this book. was born in Dartmoor and grew up in Exmoor. Anytime you see that word Moor, there's a reason. The Moors existed there. Dartmoor and Exmoor. And anytime Europeans wanted to infiltrate the minds of the people of that time, they would start putting their words and saying certain words that's going to help you to obliterate them out of your mind. That's why they created the croissant. Dr. John Henry Clark used to speak about that's why I don't even eat croissant to this day, because croissant was the crescent of Islam that they wanted to destroy and devour, and that's why they created the croissant. Look at the croissant. It's shaped like the star and the moon, or it's the moon symbol that Islam uses, the croissant. And back in European, because they was trying to eliminate the Moorish paradigm and the Muslim paradigm, they created the croissant so they can devour it. So every time they went for breakfast in the morning, they always talked about how that this is a good day to destroy the Moors or destroy the Muslim paradigm, especially when it happened around 1492. The croissant. That's why I don't eat croissants today. That's why I don't eat croissants to this day, because at that time I was in Islam. I was studying under Imam Isa, aka Dr. York, studying the Ansar, and studying Sunni and Sunnah and all that kind of stuff. So croissants is something that we should not eat, because that was part of the mental destruction and promoting of the destruction of the Moors of 1492. That's what that was all about. Man, she's born in Dartmoor and Exmoor because the Moors was there and they X'd them out. The Dartmoor, that's when they used to throw darts or kill them with darts. This is what they're trying to tell you. We gotta read in between the lines of what these Europeans are writing. And this is a numerology book. And this is a numerology book. Oh, baby, I'll tell you, I'm not new to this. This is something you probably never gonna hear with other numerologists. I'm telling you, because I'm astute with the study and the history also. I'm not the master of it. I do get it from the Dr. John Henry Clark, the Dr. Benz, the Chancellor Williams. I go and study and research. And then I put the metaphysics connection to it with Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine and Joe Pookrum and Dr. Delbert Blair. It's not that, see, somebody say, why are Europeans deemed so bad? It's not that Europeans are deemed bad, because remember, Europa was a Persian princess, a melanated woman. Let's get it real now. But when these Europeans came out of the mountains, the brutish ones, the British, the brutes, the ones that came out of the mountains, they conquered. They did what they did in the mountains with animals. That's what the whole club was all about. So get out of your feelings. Truth is truth. That's why sometimes there was Europeans that was enslaved too. That slave come from the word Slavic. Those were European people. Y'all were slaves. About 1 million of y'all were slaves. So big up to Dr. Amaro Ali, who's doing a whole documentary on that. So there's nothing, it's nothing, in ancient language, Moors means no, it does not mean. See, again, Europeans have changed the words again. Moors do not mean, the word Moor does not mean uncultivated land. That's from your European perspective. But getting back to the topic. that's what, again, remember, according to historians, original Europeans that conquered Europe was melanated people. The Grimaldis existed in Europe for 45,000 years, according to the history. Through J.A. Rogers spoke on it. Sex and Races, go and get Sex and Races. Renoka Rashidi spoke on it. Powerful, powerful stuff. But again, let's get to the topic, which is go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. Go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. And that's what we all have to learn to do as a people, as a religion, because Europeans have melanin also. Their organs would not be able to work if they didn't have melanin. They just have a lower form of melanin. That's why y'all always trying to go to Florida and these different places and get your copper tone and all that craziness and do all kind of injections and all kind of craziness. That's what y'all do. That's good. Oh, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Respect to y'all. I got a whole bunch of books about Europeans. I don't mind studying, but like I go where I'm appreciated. And when Europeans appreciate the original people, that's when I could respect. I don't go where I'm tolerated. They try to say they could tolerate us here in America, but that's not the case. We was here way before Europeans ever reached here. So I go where I'm appreciated, and the knowledge of their Mexim and the people that existed here first are melanated people, whether you call them indigenous, whether you call them India, whether you call them people from India, even the people from India, or the indigenous people, wrote about the traveling melanated people that came over here in their writings. So it's a beautiful thing to know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So I spoke about the word appreciated. Recognize the full worth of. So when you are feeling appreciated, you're recognizing, you are allowing yourself to recognize the full worth of something or someone. Understand something fully is also what that word appreciate. But the word appreciation or appreciated in numerology adds up to a number 53, and the number 5 and 3 are numbers of expression. 5 and 3 are the numbers of expression. So if someone is going to appreciate you, they have to express it to you. Understand, 5 and 3 are numbers of expression, expansion, and growth. So when you're appreciated, then that appreciation will allow you to expand and grow in your worth. Because the word appreciate means recognize the full worth of, or understand fully, or recognize the full implication of, or a rise in value or price, according to the online dictionary. Now, the number 5 plus 3 equals 8. Excuse me. The number 8, many look at it as the infinity symbol. The number 8 is not the infinity symbol. It looks like the infinity symbol because, excuse me, the mathematician of that time created this symbol in 1655, and it resembles the number 8 because 8 is older than the infinity symbol. So the infinity symbol was inspired, but it is not the number 8. But in the metaphysic community and the esoteric community, because of its similarity to this, they recognize it in some form or fashion as an infinity symbol. And that's all right. If that's where your spirit leads you or your intuition leads you, go there. No doubt. I go there sometimes. But I still recognize the karmic value of I still recognize what the true meaning of infinity and why they had to deem it, they had to create a symbol around it. So we'll know the infinity of numbers and its counting and its continuation. That's what it represents. But 8 is 8. The 8 pylon, the 8 history, the 8 account. 8 is 8. Infinity means there's a continuation. Because in an infinity it existed in our culture, in ancient culture, way before they discovered it. And isn't it ironic that 5 plus 5 equals 10, 16, 17. Isn't it ironic that the number that it was created, infinity symbol was created as up to a number 17, which happens to be a number 8. The year that it was created, 1655, adds up to 17, which happens to be an 8. 1 plus 7 equals 8. And 17 in compound numerology is the legacy leaving number. So even in your appreciation of somebody, you're supposed to leave the legacy of appreciation, pass it down from generation to generation. So if you appreciated your mother, you pass it down to your children's children to also appreciate your mama or your daddy, because it's a number of leaving legacy, vibratory legacy, monetary legacy, but being able to communicate it clearly. If y'all understand what I'm saying, put a number 1 in the chat. And please like, subscribe, and share this broadcast. Not get it twisted. I'm about to like, subscribe, and share, and the circulation. So the topic is go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. A numerovational perspective. Now, the number 8 is one of the health numbers. It's one of the healing numbers. So when one feels appreciated, it's a healthy thing. It's a healthy communicative thing. It's a healthy thing once one feels appreciated. But when one does not feel appreciated and is not recognized of their fullness of their worth, whether you're working a job, whether you own a business, whether you're doing things like what I'm doing or what Lloyd does or what any other esoteric teacher does or whatever historian does, that appreciation can diminish and become very destructive in the person that does not feel appreciated. And sometimes we go down that road. Sometimes, at one point of my life, I didn't feel appreciated from my family and all that kind of stuff. And that's why, the story I told you, I almost took my life at the age of 8 because of the lack of love and appreciation and all that kind of stuff. All that happens. All of that is real. All of that is real. But the word appreciation in the Chaldean system, which is the older of the system, the word appreciated, not appreciation. Appreciated, even appreciation has a whole nother vibration. Appreciating, appreciate, all of that. But I'm dealing with what I put on as a topic. Even the word appreciated adds up to a number 42. All even numbers this time, all health and healing numbers. And if you're not balanced with your appreciation, or you're feeling appreciated or feel balanced with the appreciation from others, then it can become an unbalance and an imbalance. And then it can become something that can be mental, something that can be emotional because of the lack of appreciation or the lack of being appreciated. Think about how a partner may feel if they're not appreciated. Think about a mate think about being in a relationship and you didn't feel appreciated. What did you do? You felt only tolerated, but you didn't feel appreciated. And we're going to go to the word tolerated also. Because tolerated in the Chaldean system adds up to a number 35, which is an 8. Backwards to the Pythagorean system of appreciated, 53. Is that a coincidence? Of course not. It's mathematics. F diabetes says faded away. Mm-hmm. Yes. You begin to fade away. You begin to leave spiritually and mentally. You already see yourself outside of the relationship if you don't feel appreciated. I've been married 3 times. It's really the second one that I didn't really feel appreciated, and the third one to a certain extent. The first one I left because of the community, and I didn't want to be there no more because they had me under house arrest and all that kind of craziness back in the Ansar community back in the day. And it wasn't Dr. York, it wasn't Imam Isa, it was a guy that was running his Philadelphia temple. But I didn't feel appreciated then too, because he got me on house arrest and he didn't appreciate what I was doing to try to make some money to add on to what we had to do, because the brothers in that community had to bring money every day, go out, pedal, and bring. And I missed when I say I missed a few days, I went to New York, missed my train, and you could not get back to Philly at that time. So he didn't appreciate that. So I got the blunt of his unappreciation of that. So I felt unappreciated and I had to leave that community. It all ties in, period. Now going back to the word appreciation, look at the 2 master numbers that's in the word appreciation, appreciated and appreciation, because it's spelled A-P-P. And when you see double letters in any word or any name, whether it's in the Pythagorean or the Chaldean system, that is significant in any name and in any word. That's a significant thing. 88. 88 is the master number of, just saying that vibration is within that word or in that name. 88 is that vibration of preparation and planning what you do and how you do things. 88, 77 is the number of adaptability, but spiritual adaptability. So in your appreciation, not only should it be a planned out thing in one sense, but it should be a spiritual adaptation in another sense. Because people have to work for their appreciation, because 88 is a working number. 88 in the word appreciation is a working number, and it's a number of discipline. 77 is a deeply researched and spiritual, intuitive number, and that is also what it's a part of when you're dealing with someone who's appreciating you. It's deeper than just somebody that's a part of your family, or somebody that's been a friend for you, a long time, or somebody that you're working for. It's much deeper when you have these master numbers in it. Much deeper. So like I was saying, in the Chaldean system, the much oldest of the system, the word appreciated adds up to number 42, which is a 6. And the 4 is the number of communication on a building aspect, on a structural aspect, on a disciplinary aspect, and it can be also a weird and unusual form of appreciation or being appreciated also. The number 2 is the number of compassionate, intuitive partnership. Partnership, learning how to partnership with the person that you appreciate or those that are appreciating you. And because it adds up to the number 6, it's supposed to bring balance. So appreciation is supposed to go both ways. It's not a one-way thing. It's not a narcissistic attitude where it's just one way. It's supposed to be both ways, because the 6 is the number of balance. The 6 is the number of truth. justice, reciprocity, healing, balance, ma'at. So when appreciation is shown or you are appreciated, it's supposed to go both ways. Whether it's with a family member, whether it's with your mate, whether it's with a friend, it's supposed to go both ways. Again, the topic is, those that are just tuning in, go where you are appreciated, where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. And let's go to the word tolerated. Let's I'm going to share screen, baby. I'm going to share screen. Excuse me. The word tolerated
tolerate.
Tolerate comes from the word tolerated, comes from the word tolerate. That's the past participle. Past tense is the verb of tolerated. The word means allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one does necessarily like, agree with, without interference. Accept or endure someone or something unpleasant or disliked with forbearance. The third meaning, be capable of continued subjection to a drug or toxin or environmental condition without adverse reaction. Now, the word tolerate. Allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one does not necessarily like or agree without interference, accept or endure. Accept or endure someone or something unpleasant or dislike with forbearance. Now, that's probably where the meaning where we're running with. Go where you're appreciated and not tolerated. Tolerated, accept or endure. And someone or something unpleasant, or they might dislike you. They're just tolerating you in their household. They're just tolerating you at your job for the time being until they're ready to fire your ass. They're just tolerating you as a friend. We have to be very mindful and be very clear. Be very clear of who we are showing our appreciation for, but yet they're only tolerating your ass. Now, the word tolerated, interesting enough, adds up to a number 37. And 3 is a communication number, but 3 is also one of those numbers, like that 3 over here, but 3 on its negative can be scandalous, can go down a reckless road, can be gossipy. So if somebody is tolerating you, just because 3 is the lead number in this first part of the name, when you add up the fullness of the name in Pythagorean and in the Chaldean, this time it adds up to 35, which both those numbers, 5 and 3 and 3 and 5, can be on its negative a reckless, scandalous, gossipy type number and vibration. They come with multitudes of meaning. They come with multitudes of meaning, both positive and negative. That's why I tell people that numerology, or the study of numbers, is objective, not subjective, because there's duality, and either you could go towards the vibration of the low or the vibration of the high, or you may stay complacent, what happens with a person that's connected to these numbers. But when it comes to words, then you got to learn to add the meaning of the words. That's why I tell people, when y'all read my book, learn how to pull yourself and your ego outside of the book when you're dealing with yourself, and when you're dealing with other people, and when you're dealing with words. pull your ego out, the negative ego, and start understanding and understanding how it relates to the interpretation that I'm sharing with you, which is really geared towards the human being in one aspect, but is also geared towards actually the interpretation of every number in another aspect. So anytime you read a quote unquote numerology book, it's fine that you're going to look for your birthday and look for your name and break down your name. It's all about you in the beginning. I got it, because people are trying to find their way any way that they can. I understand. However, once you start to become more astute in the knowledge and the application of the mathematical universe, this book of numbers, that even Galileo and Isaac Newton and even Stephen Hawking and all the ones from the past to the present says that this is a grand book. I wrote about it in my book about what they say about this book. I say it in my book on page, let me see what page. I think it's in the introduction. I said, if scientists in history like Galileo, Isaac Newton, and others agree that the universe is a grand book written in the language of mathematics, aren't we humans also connected to this grand book, the language of mathematics? I wrote it in my book on page 11, master number, go figure. Again, I'm asking the question. I'm asking a question in the book. If all of these great physicists and scientists of the past, present, and more than likely in the future are saying that the universe is a grand book written in the language of mathematics, aren't we humans or humanes also connected to this grand book, the language of mathematics, if we're on Earth, whether you believe it's flat or round or square, in the universe, and the universe is written in a mathematical language? Aren't we a part of this mathematics? Think about it before you answer, because some of us are so caught up. But these people, these scientists are well studied, peer reviewed. Do they disagree? Yes. Do they argue? Of course they do. But they always respect new evidence that's coming through, because new evidence allows people to grow. New evidence allows people to grow. So, if the word tolerated adds up to number 30, the number 3 and 7, and 3 is the number of expression on one side, an expansion on one side, but also recklessness, gossip, and scatteredness on another side, the word tolerated also is related to those numbers also. The number 7 is a deep spiritual and a deep thing. So sometimes, and it's a number of secrecy. So sometimes people that tolerate you are secretly holding something against you, because they're just tolerating you and not appreciating your presence in that place. Maybe you're doing something crazy. Maybe we're doing something crazy and they tolerate you because, oh, you're your mother's child. Or I remember going to my uncle's house back in the day, Uncle Rudolph, and he said it straight up. One thing I loved about my Uncle Rudolph D'Souza, may he rest in peace. He'll tell you straight to your face what it is and what it ain't. And that's one thing I can respect about that uncle. Wavy hair, light-skinned dude, the Rudolph D'Souza family. He has probably like 24 to 25 children. He was a navigator of the seas. And, you know, he was a steam engineer also, I believe, because Dr. Sabi was also a steam engineer, and Dr. Sabi got a lot of children also. But I remember visiting my uncle's house. And Lord have mercy, the first thing him said to me when me coming out of that house, he said, all right. He said, Minor, you're my ex-wife's nephew. So he didn't even claim me as, I call him Uncle Rudolph, but he didn't even claim me as his nephew because I'm his ex-wife nephew, because of my father was his ex-wife's sister, his ex-wife husband. I mean brother. So me coming out of house in Florida. He living in a flat, and I think his son at that time was Rudy D'Souza. Rudy was living there, and he said, one thing you don't do. He said, one thing you don't do when you come in a man's house. You don't mess with a man's woman. Check. You don't go in a man's refrigerator without being told, or without any without asking. Check. And you don't mess with a man's music, his stereo system, because he loved his music. Check. I had all that down packed. You know, I had all that down packed. Whoever you are, I'm not even entertaining your madness. Please, I'm not even entertaining your madness. I've studied with enough Moors and all that before, for years. And I even spoke to one of the sultans right here in America, and I already asked him about Moor and all that stuff. Believe me. So cut the bull crap. You ain't that much more, and he's an international Moorish teacher. You don't know that much. You're just trying to bother me. So what I'm going to do is put you on timeout. Have a good day. So big up to Asir, the Duke of Tears, the Sultan, Asir, the Duke of Tears, who I asked about the X-Moor and the Dartmoor and all that. They go into Google and all that. That man has books and studied all about that and why they would do something crazy. Again, Europeans wants to infiltrate. Big up to them. Caucasian Europeans. Let me clear that up. So go to my uncle's house, and my uncle says, I only, only reason I'm allowing you to stay here is because you're my ex-wife's nephew. Tolerating. He's not appreciating me. He's tolerating me because I'm related to his ex-wife through my father, which is her brother. I got it. I didn't stay there for too long, because if a person like that, as much as I loved and respected him, I was a young man. I was loved and respected. I was coming to visit. That's it. Coming to Florida. I think that was probably my first or second time, and I stayed with him. That's all. Boom. So tolerating is something that either they're going to express themselves with that number 3, express themselves, or they're going to keep it secret, that number 7. But it adds up to a number 10, which the number 10, because of the number 1 energy, remember the number 1 is a number that says what they mean and mean what they say. So I rather a person that don't tolerate me say it straight to my face. Be straight up, so I know where we at, and I know where I got to go. I can set myself up. Maybe I'm just passing through. So I'd rather someone that does not tolerate me be straight in my face and tell it to me like it is. That's what I would rather. Salik told me the same thing. I don't know who Salik is, but I'm just saying. And because the Wheel of Fortune energy is the word, it's connected to the word tolerated. Remember, the Wheel of Fortune energy in numerology is a number that could either be used for good or used for evil because of the extremity of the 0 behind it. And it Fordham Road. that's oh, you talking about my cousin for real. That's my cousin that was on Fordham Road. Salih. His name was Salih. Salih's father. That was Salih's father that told me that. That was Salih's father. You're talking about my cousin that was on Fordham Road. That was his father, because Salih's last name is really D'Souza. Salik, not Salik, it was Salih. Am I making sense? NSL, you remember that name? He set up right in front of Bombini's. That was my cousin, Salih. It was his father that told me that, Mr. D'Souza. And me and my cousins used to laugh about that all the time. Me and my cousin used to laugh about that all the time. So, the word tolerate adds up to a number 35, which is an 8. 35, yes. 35, which is an 8. Again, the number of expression that can go either way. We want people that do not tolerate us or is tolerating us to tell us that we're being tolerated. So we'll know if we have to walk on eggshells or not. Sometimes we got to walk on eggshells for people that may be tolerating. Could be our uncle, could be our auntie, could be our anybody. I remember my aunt was dealing with a friend. She had a friend of hers. Every time I came over to play the music and tape and record, but I could tell she was just tolerating me because she was the friend. I was my aunt's nephew. I can tell that all the time. I never really trusted her. There's a lot of stories behind that, but I'm not going to go there. That's personal stuff. So the word tolerate adds up to 35, and both the 3 and the 5 can go down the road of recklessness, reckless conversation, reckless speech, can go down the road of gossip, can go down the road of scattered brain and all over the place, can go down the road of gossiping and doing all kinds of madness. The 35 I'm talking about, the 3 and the 5. Both of those words, both of those numbers in the negative can go down that road where people that are tolerating you can be talking behind your back, talking reckless about you, gossiping about you, because you're in the house, they in their room talking all kind of mess about you. People that just tolerating you. So you got to be very careful. Again, the topic is go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. That is my motto. More so than ever, I will go. See, they will appreciate you in a hotel because you're spending your money. People that are working in hospitality, they're trained to do certain things. And sometimes, you got knuckleheads and all that. And sometimes that's why you just go into an Airbnb and chill by yourself and nobody check on you and nobody come and clean up your room. You clean your own room and do your own thing and rent a house. I'll rent a condo or whatever you have to do. Sometimes, and it's going there with me. I'm starting to recognize that I have to do that sometimes because I'm not going where I'm just tolerated. I like to go where I'm appreciated for my knowledge, my wisdom, me contributing to the house, me cleaning up the house, me helping out. And yeah, you might get into certain, and sometimes you don't want to get into dispute with people in their house. You always want to be respectful and all that. I had a situation that happened some years ago and you could say the wrong words. And maybe because they're going through stuff and you don't know they're going through stuff, they ready to throw you out of their house. Although what was said was a joke, but it was not a good joke for the time for what that person was going through. So that appreciation turned into tolerating. And then that tolerating got me thrown out. So I've been through it. I've been through the ups and downs with friends and families and all that kind of stuff. So I hope people understand. And then because 3 and 5 adds up to number 8, 8 again is one of those numbers that in both systems of numerology can be very confrontational. Although on the one aspect, it can be very healing. On another aspect, it can be very confrontational. As a matter of fact, a matter of numerovational fact, the numbers 8, 9, 1, 3, and sometimes 7s can be very confrontational, and sometimes 4s. But the primary numbers is more 8 and 9 and 1 and 3. The primary numbers for confrontation or people that want to get into debates and arguments a lot, those are the numbers that are the leading numbers. 7 and 4 are like at the bottom because sometimes 7 and 4 just want to stay to themselves and hold it into their old self. But if you got a 7 in a debate, they're going to do the research. They're going to dig deep on your ass. Big up to people like Jabari Osaze, brother Jabari that be on Sonetta show. He born the 25th. Big up to Phil Valentine. When Phil wants to break you down and get into it, boom, Phil will get it in. That's how Phil is. He's born connected to that number 7. They'll do the research. Big up to Kaba Kamene, born under that number 7 energy also, that's 16. They will do the research on you and dig deep. But you notice certain debaters on Sonetta, like I told him on the last show that I was interviewed on Sonetta, Tazariak is a good debater. He's born on the 18, which is a 9. Polite was a good debater. He born on the 10th. That number 1 again, also a good debating number. And his life path was a 3. Dr. Ma'at, great debater. She's born on the 9. Unc West, born on the 25th. Dig research, but his alignment numbers are 9 because he's born February 25th. So 2 plus 2 plus that 5 equals 9. He likes a good argument and likes a good debate. Brother Reggie, born on the 9th of March. Very good debater. Digs deep. Just the name Reggie alone with the double G's adds up to 77 in the Pythagorean system, and 77 is the research number. Go figure that one out. 77 is the deeper research and flexibility number. Brother Reggie, GG. I didn't even break down his whole name, but the R is a number 9 in the Pythagorean system, and 9 is one of the argumentative numbers in numerology. I can't make this stuff up. I'm trying to tell people. I can't make this stuff up when I'm doing this. I see it all. I see it all. It's crazy. And people think I'm crazy. And people like my father's wife will think I'm practicing witchcraft because I can see things through numbers. When I'm really studying patterns, cycles, and sequences, I'm not doing anything that nobody on this planet can't do. It's just that I've applied myself a little bit more than other people, and I study the scientific books. I study the metaphysics, the metascience, the metamaterial. I study the quantum physics books. I get it in. I showed Sonetta this book by a mathematician, and numbers don't lie. I showed Sonetta this book, and I've shown this on this page before. Beginner's Guide to Constructing the Universe, the Mathematical Archetype of Nature, Art, and Science by Michael S. Schneider. Yo, nobody is going to debate me about numbers, and I wouldn't even go down the route of numbers because everybody knows that numbers don't lie, especially natural numbers. I'm not talking about statistics when they say this amount of people is in this area and that amount of people. How are you going to know that everybody's in this? Some people won't even tell you how many people is in their household. So that's statistics and that's their numbers. That's their roundabout. But when you go into the science and the metaphysics and the esoteric meaning of numerology, the study of numbers, then you find the truth and the theme of each and every number, from its high to its low, from its positive to its negative, from its internal to its external. It's one thing I love about the study of numbers. On that tip, family, I am finished. I hope everyone enjoyed what I shared today. Please like, subscribe, share, circulate, and donate to the channel. Don't forget, remember, circulation is very important for every content creator. I am a content creator. The PayPal is right there, paypal.me/King Simon, or the Cash App is there. The PayPal is for international and local, but the Cash App is only for local. $ King Simon 3158. If you appreciated what I shared and you're going to go where you're tolerated, go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated from now on, do it. Do it, family. Go where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, my father's wife don't like me or whatever she don't like about me. I'm not going where I'm tolerated. I'm going where I'm appreciated fully by the family. So I won't be, like I said yesterday, I won't be visiting my father. I'll just call him and keep on checking on him. He's 80 years of age. I love him. I respect him. It is what it is. And I forgive his wife. I forgive my brothers and sisters if they fall along with that route. That's them. Don't make no sense. It is what it is. I forgive because forgiveness, this is true Christian value, and they're Christians. Forgiveness is the highest form of healing. And I learned that the hard way. Forgiveness is the highest form of healing, because if I hold on to it, then it will become some type of disease inside of me. And I don't want no diseases inside of me. I'm a healthy 56-year-old at this time, which 5 and 6 equals 11. So I'm a healthy 5, 6, 11, 2 energy, because 1 + 1 = 2. All right. So family, thank y'all very much for being a part of the journey. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. And I have 17 slots left in this month of December. Those who want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth. Believe me, once you get the recording, you can listen to it. It's yours forever. I got a new system of recording now. I record all of my sessions on a private YouTube link, and all you will do is hear our voice, but you'll see commercials running like this during the whole session. You'll see commercials running through it like this during the whole session. But you can broadcast it on your iPad. You can broadcast it through your phone. You can broadcast it on your TV. If your phone can broadcast it on TV, you could broadcast your session with me on television also. I have 17 slots left. If you're interested, text me your full name and date of birth so we can close out this new year with something good on your plate, some great knowledge, some great information, some great guidance using the patterns, cycles, and sequences of numbers. Text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. If you live outside of the United States of America and you live in Canada or England or Russia or wherever you live, use WhatsApp or use Signal. Use WhatsApp or use Signal. All right? And do remember, tomorrow I'm going to be coming on live, circulation and donation driven program. Tomorrow, again, I'll be coming on live. Tomorrow, again, coming on live tomorrow. And it's $5.55 up. So when I put this up tomorrow, that's what you got to circulate. For quick advice, this is what I'm putting up tomorrow. For quick advice, please circulate and donate $5.55, $10, $15, $20, and up to Cash App, PayPal. No super chat tomorrow. Do not use super chat. So tomorrow we're doing this. Every Tuesday I do this. And you can call in after you make your donation. Call in and talk to me. Let's break down the numbers on the board if we have to, or whatever advice you need to guide you. I'm here to help you until you're ready to do a full session with me. So tomorrow, that's what it's going to be like tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm getting up there. Probably get up around, I have a session at 11. So in order for me to keep on going, I probably start it at around 12 o'clock. No. Wait a minute. I got to check let me check my calendar, because I have an interview tomorrow too. Somebody's interviewing me tomorrow. Oh, let me check my calendar. Tomorrow I'm being interviewed, but that interview will not be broadcast till Thursday. I'm being interviewed by this lady, by this beautiful sister. Tomorrow it's going to be pre-recorded and then broadcasted and dropped on Thursday at 3 p.m. So I'm going to be on with her at 1 o'clock. So oh man, I got a session tomorrow also. So at 3 o'clock. Wait a minute, I got 11 o'clock and I got a 3 o'clock tomorrow. I got 11 o'clock, a 1 o'clock, and a 3 o'clock tomorrow. So, I'm going to play it by ear. So if I don't do it in the morning time, if I don't do the interview, if I don't do this in the morning time, I will do it after 3:30, after my last session at 3:30. Then I'll do it after 3:30. Then I'll come back on after 3:30. I know England is 5 hours ahead, so 3:30, about 4 o'clock. I might come on at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So that'll be 9 o'clock their time, so I can get the whole world. Want the whole world in my hands. All right. And family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. This has been Go Where You're Appreciated and Not Where You're Tolerated, a Numerovational Perspective. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Thank you again, once again, for tuning in and locking in. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, and share this broadcast. And come on now, let's do what we got to do to be our greatest self in this day and time. All right. Peace and love, and take care. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Go now. So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be the very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. Must remember that.